Today, we say goodbye to summer. It's the end. No more scorching hot days or bugs flying into my food. It's gonna be the end and the beginning of something different. Like fall! Yay! I'm very excited for fall. As you can see, I am wearing my fall shirt. So, I'm ready to get right into fall. But for that, we should probably say goodbye to summer. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Emily, and welcome to the Slow Readers Club. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning viewer, thanks for sticking around, I guess. It's been a while since I've recorded anything. The summer has been very fun, very busy, so I just didn't really find the time to sit down for a video. Also, I don't like the summer very much. My mood changes completely. I was born in Arizona and I grew up in Florida, so I have been surrounded by the heat pretty much all my life until I moved to Toronto. I experience my seasonal depression during summertime when it's way too hot to go outside and it's just so uncomfortable. You're chafing, you're sweating. It's just not my cup of tea. So I'm very excited to get back into fall so I can honestly start dressing cute, because in the summertime you can't wear anything cute. You can't like experiment with your clothes or layer, which is one of the best parts of fashion, is layering. But soon she will be gone. In Toronto, she's summer's refusing to let go. Even in the middle of September, it's still in the 20s, but I feel fall coming in very soon. Honestly, like I said, this past summer has actually been really fun. I've done a few things, and most importantly, I have found a lot of things that I have become obsessed with through the summer, and I think the obsession will carry on for a lifetime for a few things. I wanted to catch you up on the things that I have liked throughout the summer, like new music, movies, and of course books that I have read. So let's go ahead and jump into my favorites from the summer. The first thing that actually happened this year but was like amplified in the summertime was I discovered K-pop for the first time. If you're unfamiliar with K-pop, I don't know what's going on. If you're on the internet, you have to know what K-pop is. It's the music industry in Korea. And this year was like, I feel like this is the year that I should get into K-pop, because I have friends who really love it, and I just didn't know anything about it. I know, BTS, I knew Blackpink, but I didn't know anything else within it. So one of my very good friends who very graciously created an entire YouTube playlist for me to discover new Korean artists, and I just dove right in. When I was discovering K-pop, I found probably my most listened to artist of this year, like bar none, and that's XG. XG is technically a J-pop girl group. That means like Japanese pop, but they are so cool. I have never seen such a cool concept from any girl group, really, like let alone it being from an Asian girl group. They are J-pop, but they do work in the space of K-pop. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna call them K-pop. But oh my god, like they are just everything. They have, some of the coolest, most experimental makeup, very recognizable looks, which is something that I really like about this group versus other groups that I was trying to get into, is that I felt like every person in XG is someone completely different. They have such different personalities, such different looks, so you can really, and honestly too, which is very cool, is they have very different voices, so you know exactly who's singing as you're listening to it. But also that could just be me knowing it because I've listened to their songs on repeat like every single day for the past 8 months, so I don't know. I love their sound specifically. Like, compared to any other group, like, they have just been it, because they focus a lot on R&B, which is my favorite music genre. I love Usher, I love SZA, I love any R&B artist usually, because it's just, there's just something so good about it, and they really flourish in that space while also bringing like elements of hip hop and rap and some pop. It's just so, so cool. I highly, highly recommend any of you guys check them out. I feel like, one, they're very, very unique. So, like I said earlier, you can like tell who is who from their different looks. I found that within a lot of K-pop groups, everyone looks the same, like they're dressed the same, their haircut's the same. So I like how vibrant and almost like showing of their personalities it is between all the looks. And also, one of them shaved their heads in a music video. That's so freaking cool. So please check them out. They're amazing. Some of my favorite songs from them is Left Right. I really love In the Rain because it's just so quintessentially R&B. It's just so good. And I really love Undefeated. I love playing that as like my pre-workout as I'm walking down to the gym, because it just makes me feel so like amped up and ready. I'm like, oh yes, just go lift some weights. I'm ready to do it. So check them out. They are so, so cool. They're coming out with a new album next year. I'm so excited. So yes, they have changed my life a bit. So on to the next. So this next thing I'm going to be talking about does fit into music, and then the next category I'll be talking about, which is movies. And it does fall into the same vein of me discovering K-pop, and it is, you guessed it, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yes, it is so good. So, 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 so good. As an animation lover, it was like candy to me. Such cool designs and art, and the story is, the story is a story, but it's not horrible. But the thing that I love the most from this movie is the music. It is so good. I am so, so, so excited to have an animated movie that has such good music, because we have not had that in a very, very, very long time. Like, I don't even know when was the last time of this level that, like, mainstream wise, everyone loves the music from this movie. It has to be like We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, and that was like, what, 2021? But this movie and their songs, I live in Canada, Golden has been #1 here for like, I don't know, reigning like a month and a half still. Like, it is wild. It's because we represent our own, though, because the creator of K-pop Demon Hunters is in fact Canadian, which makes sense. We always have the best. I love, love, love all of the songs from this movie, but I especially love that there is a good villain song. Ugh, Your Idol is so, so incredible. We haven't had such a, like, I am the villain song. It's always been like, I'm the villain, but am I? Like, no, they are bad. They are demons, and they will take your soul, and they're gonna sing about it to you. And it is just so... production, everything is so good. So if you haven't watched it yet, I don't even know what to say to you. You have to watch it. But I have been loving that. So, like I said, K-pop Demon Hunters kind of fit into the next category, which is movies. And the movie of my summer, something I have been waiting for so long, like probably since the moment I became a fan of this franchise, and that is Superman by James Gunn. Oh my god. That movie was everything I could have asked for as a DC fan. I had been waiting for it since the moment that James Gunn was announced as CEO, a co-CEO of DC Studios, and My husband and I are huge DC fans. That's actually one of the things that we talked about on our first date and made us realize, like, oh my gosh, we have so much in common with this person because they also love DC. It was just like one of the things that we found that we were like in tune with, and it's still something that we love to this day. We actually created a podcast together called The Podcast of Tomorrow, where we talk about the old DCEU movies by Zack Snyder, comparing them to maybe like comic accurate versions of them, seeing if the adaptation was true to the character. Spoiler alert, most of them are not, but we still have a good time talking about DC and how the future of DC is going to look like under James Gunn. And Superman was something that we had really been anticipating. And once it came out, we saw it 3 times in theaters, twice in one weekend when it came out, because it was so important to us to see. Like, we were so excited for it, and it lived up to every single hope that we had, to have a Superman that cares more about saving people than beating up the villain, who focuses on crowd control and making sure that a little girl and a dog and a squirrel are, kept safe, because every single life is precious. And then having such a deliciously evil Lex Luthor. Oh, come on. It had everything. It had Lois Lane and Clark being beautiful and in love. And it had Crypto the Superdog and Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner with his dumbass bowl cut. It was perfect. It was perfect. It has made me a big DC fan, just so excited for the future movies of this franchise. Just like, that was definitely like one of the highlights of this summer. If you have not seen Superman yet, everyone's going to love it. It makes you fall in love with Superman all over again and just see why he is the most iconic superhero of all time. So I couldn't not talk about books. This is the Slow Readers Club. This is technically my book channel. So, of course, I have to talk about what I read this summer and what really stuck out to me. And the first book I want to talk about was something I read in the early summertime that also made me very vigilant about the way that I see the changes in the world that are happening right now. And that is 1984 by George Orwell. I'm so glad that I read this book when I did. I have always been really intimidated by classic novels. I don't know why. I think that maybe like the writing won't resonate with me, or it'll go over my head, or there'll be some things that I don't understand. Basically, I just like talked myself out of reading smarter books because I thought that I wasn't smart when I was younger, but I am very smart. And I also think that a book like this, like 1984, or even other Orwell books, are very digestible, and they're really easy to read. It's not because they're simple, it's because the way that he writes is very easy to understand, right? Like, he's not trying to confuse you, he's just trying to tell you the story that he wants to tell. And in 1984, I ate this up so quickly, and it really stuck with me because there are a lot of moments in this book that I saw paralleled some of the things that I was seeing in real life. I think that this is an amazing book to read if you want to stay vigilant in understanding how government systems can take certain things away from us if we allow them to. And I think it's just a really important read. Orwell wrote this after World War II, and I think that he really understands what it's like to see things like fascism, censorship, gives us the message that we have to educate ourselves and understand what's happening in this world so that when we see those signs, we can hopefully try to prevent them. So, highly recommend this book. Obviously, it's a classic for a reason, and yeah, loved it. So the other book that really stuck out to me this summer, I have read other things, but I just kind of wanted to highlight my major ones. And this book, oh my gosh, I devoured it within like a day and a half, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Oh my gosh, this book is just, ugh, it's everything. You go into this like magical world that it almost feels like adult Narnia in a way because it has more like adult elements to it, but it is a book that takes a lot of imagining in your head. So I do think there are some books that don't really require a whole lot of like cinematic imagination inside of you. So I would say that like this is a book that you really need to like put everything into to fully just digest it all and see this beautiful world that Susanna has created for us to discover. And you meet, honestly, like one of my favorite characters that's ever been written in fiction, the beloved child of the house. Oh, so beautiful. It like has like everything that you want, magical fantasy, a mystery that you're solving with the main character. It's also written in like journal entries. It's beautiful, very short, and it just brought in so much beautiful whimsy into my life that I loved it. So Piranesi was definitely one of my favorite things that I consumed this summer. The other thing that I read this summer, and also something that was added to my like reading sphere this summer, was my Kobo. I got the Kobo Libra color for my birthday and I love it. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite birthday presents I've ever gotten. I have been loving this e-reader. It has everything that I want. It has turn buttons like for turning the pages. It has like different orientation. I love this like little side panel to help you hold on. It's a lot more ergonomic. And also I like personalized it and decorated the back with some stickers, this beautiful pop socket that I have. I love it. And honestly, the reading experience on here is super elite. Like, I crush books on my Kobo. So I am so happy to have it. And I'm sure you saw on my screen, this was something that brought me so much joy because it brought me back to like when I first read this series, and I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Brought me right back to loving the Hunger Games, I'll tell you the truth. It really reminded me like how much I love that world and those characters. I did like Songbirds and Snakes, don't get me wrong. But what it did was that it reawakened my love for Katniss and Peeta. Oh my gosh. I love them together. Everlark is like, oh, what a beautiful ship. And it just reminded me how much I love them and how obsessed I was when I was younger. And also just made me understand their relationship just on a deeper level because I guess I should have put this in movies, but whatever. You guys don't really care about that, right? So I watched Songbirds and Snakes after I read it. And then I was like, why don't I just watch all of the Hunger Games movies? And so I did, and it reminded me how much I love Katniss as a character, how much I love Peeta as a character, and how much I love them together. Like, they are perfect together. And if anybody thinks that Gale should be the one that ends up with Katniss, you are delusional. Peeta or nothing. And Katniss agrees. So need I say more? But I loved going back into the Hunger Games world and just reliving all of that. It was very fun to do this summer. So those are my faves from this past summer. There's a lot more that I did and I consumed, but these were absolutely my highlights from everything that I have found out and discovered from this summer. But I thought I would just kind of give you, at the end of this, a little treat as we go into fall, what I'm going to be reading. I'm probably not going to read all of these books that I have, but I am a mood reader, so I like to have a few things that I can choose from and see which one I'm like more in the mood to read than other times. So maybe I'll read all of them, definitely unlikely, but maybe I'll read like 2 or 3 of these on this list. So a book that I'm already reading to kind of kick off fall, because it's back to school season, the first few leaves are falling, then what better way to do it with some dark academia? So I am reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I am only like 40 pages in, and I'm already like, whoa, I'm gonna need a lot of brain power for this book. Not because I'm dumb, just because sometimes some books are just a lot easier to read, but this one is very smart, and I want to be smart like you too, Donna. So I'm going to really put a lot of brain power into this. But every person that I have told that I have started this book, and this is maybe like 5 people that I've told, they're like, oh, that book is incredible. That book is amazing. You're gonna have such a great time. I wish I could reread it again. So I know that it's great. Trust me, I know that. But just to have so many recommendations and just so many people excited that I'm reading it for the first time, it kind of adds a little bit of pressure, but I am still excited to read it and I'm sure I'm going to love it. But I will give you, of course, all of my thoughts on these books as I get through them because this is the Slow Readers Club. You guys have to know what I think about these things, right? You guys want to know that. I hope. The next book on my TBR for fall is I kind of, again, these like moodier books that, you know, maybe are like focused more like in gloomy or like melancholy vibes. So I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I don't know, I have nothing to say. This is a classic and I have heard nothing but great things about Rebecca. It's about like wanting to go back to a specific time in your life, that kind of like nostalgia and melancholy that I feel like those moody feelings just fit right into fall. So I am excited if I get into it this fall, but just in general, it's on my TBR. I will read it eventually, and maybe this season will be the time that I finally dive into it. But for now, it is on my TBR. So I have been really struggling with romantasy lately. Like, I tried reading a few this summer and I DNF'd every single one that I read. The writing has just been really weak with some of these books, and I just don't have the time to read bad writing, even if the concepts are really good. But I just can't get into that. So I am giving this a try. One of my favorite booktubers, Leo, likes this book. She's not saying that it's the best book she's ever read, but she did enjoy it, and it does have a lot of like moody elements, mist, gloom. So I have picked up One Dark Window on my Kobo. This was like on a deal for like $3 on here, so I was like, well, let's just give it a try. It's $3. And if anything, at least it'll give me vibes. We'll see how I feel about this. Again, romantasy has been so hit or miss for me that I'm just I'm weary, but I would really love to have a good romantasy because I did love ACOTAR. It's just I feel like everyone's trying to do ACOTAR. Don't do that. Do something new. Like, we don't need another shadow daddy. Try to do something different. I don't know. I can get into that in a different video, but we'll see. I have high hopes for One Dark Window, for at least just being nothing else than just entertaining and with good writing. That's all I ask. Entertainment and good writing. Doesn't have to change my life, but at least know how to write a sentence. It's getting bad out there, guys. I'm just saying. So another book that I have on my Kobo, on my TBR, is A View Across the Rooftops by Suzanne Kellman. This is a story, I believe, in Amsterdam in 1941, where a man and I think his wife, but at least some people are living in the attic of somebody. This is during the time that, you know, the Nazi party was going to be rounding up all of the Jewish people to send them over to the camps. Some people were hiding people on the rooftops, as we know with Anne Frank and her story. So this one is taking it from a specific viewpoint. I saw this on Kobo Plus. I do have that with my Kobo. I do recommend it. It's $10 a month. You have access to a lot of books. If you like contemporary romance, there's so much of that. It's not really my cup of tea, but they do have a lot of classics and a lot of historical fiction, which I do like. So I think that it's worth it for me, and they do have some like newer books that I'm just able to try. I like the service because it's $10 a month. I get to try new books, and If I don't like it, then I didn't spend, $35 per book. That's usually the range for a paperback here in Toronto. So, you know, $10 versus like triple that, I think that that's pretty cool. So I can try out new books and see new things. And I've already done that, and I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun with my Kobo. I love it. So that is on my list. The last book that I have on my list is a book that I'm a little intimidated by, but I have heard, again, nothing but good things. This is a classic. It's Mr. Steinbeck. It is East of Eden. So one of my other favorite creators, Books Are Sick, loves John Steinbeck and loved East of Eden when he read it. And I love his recommendations. They align really well with mine. So I'm like, okay, if he likes it, then maybe I'll like it too. But again, I have that same feeling that I felt before I read 1984, which is like, oh, it's a classic. Maybe it'll go over my head, blah, blah, blah. No. You can read the classics, Emily. You can do it. So I'm going to read this. I have it for my fall TBR, but I will read it at some point. But again, East of Eden is included in Kobo Plus. They have so many classics on Kobo Plus. One of them actually, which, actually kind of falls within this. I didn't have it on my TBR list, but since I'm just chatting with you, The Bell Jar is also on here. They have The Time Traveler's Wife, The Librarianess. They have, so yeah, I highly recommend it. That brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. This video was honestly really fun to make, just to kind of like sit down and catch up with you. Like, nothing super formal, but I kind of want to talk a lot about the other things that I like on this channel too. I do love books, trust me, that's a huge part of my life, but I have other things that I really like too that I kind of want to bring you guys in to get to know me a little bit more. So yeah, I'm coming back to YouTube little by little. Let's see. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Please comment if you'd like, or you can like this video, or you can subscribe to me. All of it would be really, really cool if you did any of it. You don't have to do it, but it'd be nice if you joined the club. So until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.